Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show. This is episode 145. There we go.
This is Bethany. My name is Sparky, and we have Franny with us today.
Franny.
She's kind of just enjoying life, actually.
I don't think your mic is on. Oh, Franny is an older corgi.
Nope, not on.
Not on. Or how about this?
Mine's on.
Come on. There we go. All right.
Give it a second to connect.
Hopefully, that's not connected to anybody.
Push up. Yeah. Again?
Sorry, technical difficulties. There.
Yeah,
Okay, it is working. Okay, cool. So anyway, Franny here is an older puppy. Older. So don't get any ideas, okay? Because don't expect your 12-week-old puppy to act like this.
Hi, Ozzy.
Not going to happen. All right, we have something really important to announce to everybody. That is, next week, we will not be doing our 1 o'clock live, okay? I'm really sorry. Sorry, not sorry, though, because we have a free puppy biting workshop. We have been getting so many puppy biting questions. In the last 6 months to a year, they have like quadrupled. And so we decided to just put on this free workshop where we're gonna give you some tools to work on at home. So that is gonna be 1 o'clock. It's gonna be at 1 o'clock next Wednesday instead of doing the live here. On Zoom. It's on a Zoom, it's not on here. So to sign up, you should do something. The link. So
something is important.
Link in our bio, I guess on TikTok and on Instagram. So just go to our bio, click the link there, and it'll show you how to sign up for our free puppy biting workshop. Okay, cool. All right, let's dive in.
And I've been petting Franny for about maybe 4 or 5 minutes since we started this and a little bit before. And just now she started mouthing my hand. So we're done. We're done with petting. And look, she's going to go to the next source, and Bethany's going to ignore her as well. Because after about 20 seconds, Bethany's going to start getting nipped at too.
I am?
This is hard. And if you guys can't stop it, or your kids can't stop it, it's time for your puppy to go back on the ground with the leash on.
It's time for the humans to work more on their impulse control.
A little bit of both. I know you can only do so much with a 4-year-old.
That's true. Okay, so...
I went back to petting her. God, sorry, she's so dang cute.
Because she's so cute. Yes, she is. All right, we are going to start with a question with an older dog. Now, I know we don't do that, but this is a special circumstance. Mia is a husky, and her owners was like, if there was a group of like rock star owners who are amazing, that would be this person. So we are absolutely going to answer this question for her because we've got to work with her here at Puppy Academy. And it's still going to give everybody some tips because it's very similar for puppies, even for older dogs. Mia has regressed on training specifically in car rides. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact she was doing long trips with another dog. Her owner is super active. Long trips with another dog, and that other dog would whine and had anxious behaviors in the car. So now Mia is now doing the same thing in the car, and she never used to do it before. So just to start with, because I do kind of want to preface this with puppies versus older dogs, if you have a puppy, we always suggest using a crate and covering the crate and actually practicing going like position, it's a small dog. You can't do this with Mia. Positioning the crate deep, in the seat so I can sit there too and I can use food and calmly with the leash and with food, out of crate, in crate, down with food lure. Out of crate, in crate, down with food lure. And then do a 2-minute downstay with the crate door open and the dog in crate, the puppy. And then closing the crate and keeping that downstay. So you're conditioning down in the car. So how I would associate that with Mia is, can Mia, I remember Mia, do a downstay in the car with you beside her, with you in the passenger seat, with you driving. Okay, so those are all things that need to be practiced. And if you can't practice that, that's okay. You need to have her, I think you did a slip leash or something, but you need to have a leash on her. And then honestly, in a safe way, at every stop sign, every stoplight, and she pops up whining, you're going to grab the leash, because this is an older dog that understands leash pressure. By 6 to 8 months old, your dog should be able to do this, okay? I can lean back and I can just grab the leash and just do pressure down. And my dog might resist because they're anxious, and then follow it. There's no food, really, when you're working on anxiety with a dog, in my opinion, 6 months and up. Maybe 8 months and up. Maybe
it
8
becomes
months.
a crutch after.
It's not great. It's not really great for the brain if you're working with anxiety. I actually wouldn't address the whining directly. I really wouldn't. I would really try to wear the brain down. So down, she pops right back up. Good. Down, pressure down again, pops right back up. That's why it's really good to have a driver if you have a spouse or partner or friend, and you can do this from the passenger seat. Wear your seatbelt, of course. But you can turn around and do this with such a big husky. And what you're doing is you're wearing her brain out. And then when you do go to the park and you park, do not get out of that car for like 5 minutes. You are just down and she sits back up. Down, she sits back up. Don't even say down. You're just wearing the brain out. This is not about obedience. This is about the brain. This is dog psychology. This is anxiety. So you want to wear her out by just being a very calm, authoritative presence and having her repeat that over and over and over again. Now, if she's laying down but whining, I would consider waiting for the whining to subside a little, then get out of the car, then pause, then open the door. If she gets up, close the door and maybe do some pressure down again. Make sure you can open the door and she stays in a down. And then calm patterning. Am I pretty much hitting all of it where you don't have anything?
Yeah.
So
I was looking for the holes too, guys.
He's always we always try to find the holes with each other. But this one is something I've just gone over 500,000 million gazillion times. Calm.
She taught this to me.
So calm car patterning for a dog 6 months and up. Okay, even a little dog, there's a way to do it. But with a big dog like this, you invite them out and then you turn around, shut the door. The shut door is optional. You don't have to do it every time, but at least part of the time. Open the door, pause. They have to look at an open door. Hup or place or whatever it is you say. Go it down. Pick up leash. Or don't even let go of the leash. Mix it up. If the leash is a trigger for anxiety and excitement, drop it, pick it up, drop it, pick it up, drop it, pick it up. Pause. Let the dog out, turn, pause and sit. Slow crate patterning. It's like car meditation instead of crate meditation pattern.
That's why she's doing that.
Take a
Because
breath.
she's showing that there's time going by.
Yeah.
You're not rushing to grab the dog out. You're not rushing to put her in. You're putting her in. And that's the pause she's mentioning as well. It's enough time to take a breath, allow your own self to settle, because a lot of dogs, they can smell biochemical changes in us. So if you're stressed out, your dog can smell that stress.
Ooh, that was
and they'll
fancy.
react to it.
Biochemicals
It's
changes.
because that's my
in our
service
body.
animal jam. I have a seizure alert and assist dog, and she can detect about 30 seconds up to 5 minutes before I have a seizure. So that's a biochemical change that we release from our pores.
So you can't rush. You can't. Your heart rate can't be like, oh, I gotta go, or I don't know what to do, or anything like that. You really got to take your time. You be the meditation for your dog. Slow down their breathing. Slow down their heart rate. And I would start with that. There are some other things too, but start with that. If you have a dog that is too small and you pick them up and put them in the car, everything is the same except you open the door. If they move forward, no. They have to settle. If your dog can't even sit, I don't need them to sit. I just need the brain to not be in forward motion, to not be thinking about getting in the car. So they settle. Then I pause to make sure they're truly settled. Then I just pick them up, put them in, and pick them up, take them out. So everything is the same except you're picking them up.
I'd also think about picking up a small dog is if I go down to pick them up and they start jumping up to get picked up.
Oh.
No. Stand up tall, pause, they settle, and then practice being able to pick up your dog calmly. That might even be a separate routine from this routine.
We do that actually quite a bit with some of these little jumpy,
We have
anxious
one that
dogs.
literally has learned to, you get ready to pick them up, they turn around and give you a better position to pick them up. So they turn their butt to get picked up. So we have a lot of dogs that will learn a better routine for it. Just takes practice.
Okay. Why don't you answer one of these? Because my Instagram is not showing me questions for some reason. Are you on TikTok? Where's your phone?
I don't know.
Seriously?
Ricky.
Seriously.
We need you.
Seriously.
Kimberly, we need you first.
On your phone up until we started.
Yes, he was.
I was.
Yes.
I'm just saying
Can
yes
you
now.
can you read a question?
Okay.
Is it
Shut
with
up.
the chat?
18. 8-month Schnoodle. How to stop excitable reactivity towards dogs and people. So excitable reactivity. Are you
8
telling
months. Wait, we were 8 months old. So our advice will be different than with a 12-week-old.
When you say excitable reactivity, does that mean he's just like lunging towards them to play or trying to jump on them? If that's what you're asking about, a lot of it is just, are you already above threshold? Thank you, Kimberly. Are you already above threshold by the time you're approaching? Are you getting too close to these dogs on the sidewalk? I think about when I teach heel or let's go work or any kind of walking routine, I actually don't walk up to dogs on the walk. I don't allow my dog to say hi to them on the walk. Maybe we're just sticklers for it and we're a little bit stricter than other trainers or other owners would be, but it's because we're teaching them to exist for us first. We're teaching them to respect us and follow our leadership above all else. So then when they're older and more mature, we're talking for you guys maybe a year to a year and a half, then you could do the greetings. But the things that I'm working on is I bubble out to the side when dogs are passing. I keep my dogs focused with food if possible. I get them back to the sidewalk and then I run through some obedience if they're overstimulated. I'm always trying to keep them constantly below threshold. So then eventually when my dog is a year to a year and a half, they can move to the side, sit calmly next to me. The other owner can walk by if they also have a calm, friendly dog.
That's if it's not aggression and if it's just frustration, excitement.
But we don't really know that because we're just kind of going off what you say. So we're going to go off of its excitable reactivity, which is just wanting to play really bad and excitable to do it. And if that's the case, you just want to build them up in the way that I mentioned.
I would jump on top of that and just say, instead of starting the bubble out to start with, do a complete 180. I don't know if you said that and I missed it.
I didn't say that.
So don't even try to bubble out right away. I don't think you're ready for that. As soon as you see a dog, you check in with your dog, within a second. And if his ears are alert before he's pulling and having, actually feeding off of it in a physical way, he's thinking about it, but he's not doing it yet, you do a 180 and you keep his attention. And I don't mean necessarily staring at you. I mean just like he's walking with you away. If there's a ton of space, you could turn and do another turn off of that dog coming at you. And then they're likely to cross the street. And then if they don't, you want to cross the street before you get an explosion of barking or excitement or hard pulling or whatever the case is. At 8 months old, I would also be looking into some head control if you're not doing it already. You could look into, there's multiple training tools, and by training tool, I also just mean a slip leash, like whatever your jam is, and I would be looking into that.
If you decide to go with an adversive one, we do recommend hiring a balanced dog trainer, someone to teach you how to use it and walk you through these situations with the other dogs.
Yeah. I just found out that because I personally joined Instagram late, I can't see the backlog of questions. Could you read me one of them? I could last week. I don't know what the dealio is.
I'll read one from TikTok.
Okay.
How do I know if my puppy is aggressive? He growls when we approach him when he's chewing on bone. Well, you're getting reactivity for sure. If he's growling, there's probably a little bit of defensive reactivity. So is he aggressive? He will be eventually if you try to take that bone from him when he's doing it.
And it may not happen. You might be able to take the bone from him now, but you won't in 3 months.
Yeah. What was the age? Do you remember the age?
No.
What I said? I think it was 6 months.
6 months?
No, there is no age.
That was younger than that.
No, there's no age.
There's no age. So, okay.
If you come back and let us know an age, we can tell you a little bit more.
So to be honest, my personal opinion would be for you to seek out a balanced trainer, one-on-one help right away. And when I say balanced trainer, you still need to ask if it's a puppy under 5 months old, are they just just ask them, be like, are you just going to correct my puppy for guarding, or how would you handle that situation? How are you going to teach me to handle that situation?
Bethany's giving you the tea right here.
That is what you need to ask a potential trainer, because balanced training, compulsion trainers also call themselves balanced trainers, and that's bull crap. So you have to ask these pointed questions. Okay. Oh, can you do that question?
Online.
What? I did?
You said crap.
I said crap.
Sparky, you missed one above it, so we can hit them next. This one asks, how do you help an 11-month-old golden retriever with his reaction to other dogs?
How do you help an 11-month-old golden retriever with his reaction to other dogs? So I don't want to just push off your question, but we just answered that with an 8-month-old. So you can follow up with something. Do you want to just go to the next one, Kimberly?
To clarify, he always barks and stops listening to my commands and gets nippy on the leash until I either take him away from the situation or the other dog leaves.
Oh, okay. So the same person, we can definitely go into this, and I've got something like in my head. I'm like, oh yay, I can help help you, is she said that the dog is nipping the leash, like he starts to bark, and I'm sure she's like, no, come on, let's go, you know, and the dog is nipping the leash. Two things. He talked about threshold with that 8-month-old. Your dog is 2 over threshold, so you can't really address it directly. We would correct reactivity in a dog your age, but when they're being reactive, you're just stopping them so you can get out of there. You're not teaching them anything. And so for me, you have to go after intent. You have to go after the dog thinking about it. You have to interrupt that cycle of arousal. And by interruption, it could be just let's go and a turn, like we talked about with the 8-month-old. But the main thing that I want to talk about is the nipping. So if your dog is nipping the leash or nipping your hand, whether you have harness, even though harness is not the best for this, but whatever it is, your leash needs to go out and up in the air immediately away from you. And you can kind of lean into the dog a bit unless your dog is confrontational. We have a little puppy here that is so sweet, but it's a very nippy, bitey breed, plus every herding dog that comes in here. This happens to be a shepherd.
I got nipped by a herding dog this morning.
Yeah, this happens to be a shepherd puppy. I mean, cute little fluffy puppy. It looks like it would never think of biting anyone ever. It's still in a puppy mode. It's biting. So my point is that if you have a dog where you kind of move in physically, like a lot of balance trainers tell you to do, including us, and they challenge you back, you need to get rid of that forward motion thing.
You got to get rid of the conflict.
Yes, because they think you're challenging them, and they're like, okay, bring it on. And so if I don't have that, though, I will absolutely move into a dog because it's super helpful. I just want you guys to be smart and be able to know, to discern what's happening.
You're looking for more of a wait out period.
Yeah.
When you can't step into them, it's pressure up, hold, pause.
Straight spine.
And you're going to get a lot of turning, tippy tapping, moving, and then eventually you're going to get this, where they just kind of go limp. No, it's not because you're choking them or anything. It's simply because they're giving up.
Yeah,
they're giving into it.
Don't lift their front feet off the ground.
It's a slow pressure back down,
yeah,
so they can kind of like feed into like being fully on the ground again. If you go up fast, down fast, you're actually creating more conflict.
Yep.
And the quick down is probably adding stimulation to it as well because they're having an impact on the ground. So
you're making it sound like they're off the ground. They're not off the ground.
Well, their front 2 feet are touching the ground, but obviously you're lifting up enough to
Yes.
where their tippy toes are basically just touching the ground, but they're not off the ground.
Not tippy toes. Tippy toes is off the ground.
No, I still see it as on the ground. I don't know how to explain them touching the ground, but they're not fully, their paws aren't fully placed.
Yeah, you're just lifting them. It's just lifting them a tiny
creating
bit.
a small pressure.
But tippy toes makes me think like on a person. It's like.
No, it's just they're touching.
That's not
their
what he means.
arms are limp and they're barely
Sitting on a
touching.
swing.
Ooh, sitting on
Like
a
you're
swing.
sitting on a
Anyway, hopefully.
like you're sitting on a swing.
Hopefully that makes sense, and your feet touch the ground. No, hopefully that makes sense to you. But anyway, just be really firm with that. And as soon as he's not thinking about nipping anymore, relax the leash and see if he goes right back to nipping. If he doesn't, then let's go and turn. Goes the nipping right again, pressure again, and just wait him out. You're just calm. You're not mad. You're not saying, you don't even have to say no. It's just very calm, low conflict situation.
And by the way, if your dog's paws do leave the ground and you notice they're forcing their head down,
they might be jumping.
They're doing it because they're trying to lift their body up and get more leverage. The feet are going to leave the ground and they're eventually going to go back to the ground, but that's not you guys doing it.
That's them.
That's them doing it to themselves by forcing their head down.
Okay, my Lisa says my 5-month-old Maltese is refusing crate naps all of a sudden. It's been going for 2 to 3 weeks. There's no new triggers, no noises. Is this a normal regression? He is tired when I put him in initially.
5 months, yep, between 4 to 6 months, your first stage of adolescence.
Yeah.
Yay!
That's early for a small dog, for a Maltese. Malteses, they are a little pain in the behind sometimes.
As puppies.
Yeah, they really are.
They're very strong-willed.
Feisty. Mm-hmm. Feisty little buggers.
Yep.
Give me this. Oh, I guess you want me to go into it? Okay. So what you're going to... Sorry, it threw me off.
I wasn't listening to the question.
So what I would try to do is add in some slow patterning. And so we talked about slow patterning with the car, our first question. And what I would do is add that in for the crate. So when you put your dog... This stuff, what happens outside of crate matters more than what happens in crate. This is kind of an in-between, okay? So your dog is on leash, going in, down, pause, let's go, little turn, pause, crate, house, whatever you say, down. Like go really slow. Do about 5 to 10 repetitions before you calmly bend down, take off the leash, and close the door. Now, the important thing is do this when you get him out as well. Do it for 2 weeks. Every single time you take this puppy out for 2 weeks, you're gonna leash him up. That way it's not him waiting in crate with an open door, and then you say break or let's go, and he shoots out. So you're going to have him wait like you normally do, put a leash on his flat collar or slip leash or something, wait again, let's go or heel, whatever you want to use, turn, and he goes right back in. And keep doing that until he's like walking. He's not even excited anymore. He's walking. And then you're going to have him turn and pause. So you're facing the crate with the crate door open, and he's right next to you and he pauses. Don't correct him. You just use a little pressure, leash pressure, just until he stops trying to anticipate crate. Take a breath. Then crate, and you might have to use the leash to get him in there because he's like, what are you doing, right? So really take your time. Do this before he goes in crate as well as after, and then make sure you're staying calm. There's no cuddling or excitement 20 minutes before he goes down for his naps. That would be my advice for it.
Feed in the crate too.
Oh, yeah.
Create more leverage.
Yeah.
Make it more fun.
Feed in there. Feed. Okay. There's this lady that I wanted to... Oh, my God.
We got some long ones there.
I know, we do. Okay.
Take my shorties.
I have a dog that... Where's number 2? Oh, here it is. Usually... Okay, so they're trying to give their puppy more freedom. It's a 5-month-old. And she just wants to play all the time. Is tethering a good option? In my opinion, back tying or tethering, which is clipping a leash for a mini poodle, I would do a harness. Clipping a leash to a harness and back tying to furniture or something, just to where they can kind of, they do this and they don't get anywhere. And the idea is they just calm themselves down. There are so many puppies that don't calm themselves down.
You got to have a good place already.
Yeah. So, two things. The way we teach place.
Yeah.
So it's place, and then it's also the ability to move in towards a puppy that steps off place, and they back up. Like you've trained that in a balanced way. It's a balanced way to teach place. You could find out that information in our online school, which you can go to thepuppyacademy.com for. Or you can look up...
Look at you! I see what you did there.
Or you can look up, balance training, teaching place. It'll probably use a slip leash, but you can do it on a harness with such a young, small dog as well, where they are sensitive to body language. So I would do that first.
And it's also not something you just use here. You use spatial pressure and leash pressure.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
In dog training. And every single thing you'll do, without realizing it, you're using spatial pressure or leash pressure.
And the whole idea that your puppy wants to play all the time, I've got a problem with that. That's why I mentioned the online school, because I would like to dive deeper into what her day looks like that makes her think she wants to play all the time. Because I'm like, no, there's something missing. Or you do have the type of dog that really is like that mentally, but I bet there are things throughout the day, structure-wise, that needs to change. Like how are you on a structure schedule? Work, play, and by play, I mean like play between the two of you, teaching her to drop it, like structured play, and then rest time. Like I'm just wondering what the day looks like.
Dogs need to sleep about 16 to 20 hours a day, so just let that kind of roll into your routine.
Yep, agreed. Okay. 13-week-old, oh yeah, we're doing good. 13-week-old Cockapoo, crate nap schedule, doing pretty good. Question is, should I feed her after she uses the restroom, or should I feed her after play and exercise, then put her down for a nap?
The second one. If you have a really, really, really young puppy who's prone to pooping after, or having a poop after they have their meal, then you could take them out at the end of a meal. I have probably maybe 30% of all the lessons I do, owners will say my dog poops right after the meal. So I'll say feed the meal and then get the poop. But as they get older, you're gonna want to get the pee and the poop at the same time. So for now, if it's for the poop, then yes, you can take them out after. Otherwise, you do wanna give the potty right when they come out of the crate. And at the end of free time, that's when you wanna give them their meal and put them in the crate. What you're trying to teach your puppy to do is eat the food, drink the water, and learn how to hold their bladder and bowels for the next whatever window of crate time that you're giving. only young puppies are the exception who are having poop accidents.
You also want leverage with your food first thing in the morning. And so you're using your food to train right away. And so you're not feeding the full meal. I have to say this though, for larger breed dogs, very quickly, you have to be conscious of them having a full belly filled with food right before and after they play. So if you're doing fetch, there needs to be 30 minutes, an hour, honestly, but for a really young, large breed puppy, I'd say 30, but as they get 4, 5, 6 months old, an hour before and after they eat, before there's any running, playing with other dogs, fetch, anything like that. So then you have to be conscious of that too.
We actually set timers for our dogs here just to make sure they don't get bloat.
It is unusual for puppies, but you gotta be careful with puppies, or with large breed puppies. She mentioned this, I thought this was good. Is 8 p.m. too early for bedtime if we get up at 6:30? It depends on your dog.
And also, when's your last potty throughout the night?
That's 8:30. It needs to be 8:28 p.m.
9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So you're probably going to get sleep till about 2 a.m., 3 a.m. That's a pretty standard one. And that's for 7 hours of sleep. 8, maybe you'll get 4.
Cockapoo is small, though. You may not get that much sleep.
Oh, I don't think you will. I was just trying to give you like a shot for the dreams. I was just showing you the stars and what they might look like in the future. No, you're probably going to get maybe 5, 6 hours if you're really, really lucky. Small breed dogs, they tend to need to go a little bit more often than large breed dogs who hold their bladder longer.
Yeah, but not even that long. Even large breed puppies, 13 weeks old, that's still, in my opinion, unless you're lucky, it's still too long. So you're probably going to have to get up and do a potty for quite a while.
What I normally tell people too is if you go to bed at 11, your dog's last potty is 10:58.
Yeah.
That you got to give them that final potty before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Because their REM sleep is going to start after that final potty.
Yeah.
Or honestly though, with a young dog like that, they might still wake up in the middle of the night because they got energy and they're awake and they've now been sleeping 9 hours.
Yeah, they can't help it.
Yeah.
All right. Rachel says 9-week-old puppy. He had puppy stranglers when we got him, which is rare. Do you know what that is? He's been weaned off his steroids. So it's some type of sickness. Okay. So he's been weaned off his steroids. He's having a lot of trouble being away, separated from me.
Puppy shingles?
Maybe
Strangles.
stranglers.
Stranglers?
Yeah. At first I thought somebody strangled your
Shingles.
puppy. Well, either way, we're okay. It's something. So it's really common for puppies or dogs, like a 10-year-old dog that's never had separation anxiety could become sick, or you become sick. And now there's this toxic, sorry for the harsh word, toxic connection between the two of you. It's super common, especially with a puppy or getting a dog from a rescue that's sick. We've seen it happen after puppies go for spay. We've seen that happen.
Separation anxiety, the bad kind, the kind she's talking about, is an addiction to affection. So evaluate the last couple weeks since your dog got sick up until this point. How much additional affection did you give, and how much balance with training did he have as well? That's really what causes that separation anxiety.
But she's tried all kinds of stuff now. Stuffed Kongs, lick mats, exercises where I don't give him any attention, hiding treats, keeping him busy. So she's tried all of it. She's tried being calm. She's tried not nurturing it. She's tried distractions. I've tried leaving him where I go into a room, reward him when he's calm and quiet. I can't shower upstairs in the other side of the house. So I just want to, because this is kind of long and I want to read all of it, I just want to put in a side note here. Sometimes it's bad to reward for calm and quiet. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes you can just toss a treat in, like you can just walk in the room and toss a treat in without saying anything. Couple seconds of quiet, walk by, toss a treat in. Sometimes that works.
That's for really, really low separation anxiety.
Or
dogs that you're just trying to train to be alone and you're doing a lot of positive reinforcement training.
Because what happens is you're rewarding, you're giving him attention, so you're getting him excited all over again.
This is not the two things we just mentioned.
Yeah.
This is, if you, I don't know if you watched our YouTube video on this, but we got some hate on the YouTube video in the comments. At one point we mentioned this isn't for 90% of people. This is for the 10% of people who are really, really struggling. One, I'd recommend looking at that video. And two, go.
She said that the dog even is doing poorly if you're right there on the other side of the gate. He's a golden retriever.
Gosh, that's a difficult breed to have separation anxiety with.
It is, because they usually don't.
And they're super high drive,
Yep.
high need for exercise, play, and training. Separation anxiety, it's going to feed into that.
I would say get rid of the X pen. Even the X pen alone, some puppies just cannot handle it. And even if you haven't gone through something like this, start a crate rotation. Make sure the room is dark, like putting a baby to sleep. You got the white noise machine on. Maybe you want to play talk radio or like a sitcom playing over and over again on top of the white noise machine. That way it drowns out outside noises. And I want you to do a crate structure schedule and get rid of the X pen completely. There's more that I could go into. I am a little out of time. But do you have any follow-up on that?
Nope. Good.
And everything else you're doing is good. It's just stop rewarding him for being quiet. Don't give him any attention unless you're about to get him out of crate. And even then, make sure it's calm, quiet, waiting for permission to come out of crate. 9-week-old, he's so young. I'm guessing he's a few weeks older now after the sickness. Please, if you're interested, check out our online school because we could really help you with this one-on-one, thepuppyacademy.com.
We have about 5 videos off the top of my head. That would be amazing for what you guys need with your pup.
Ooh, amazing. That's a big word.
Amazing?
It's because the program's amazing.
It is amazing, but it makes me uncomfortable.
Outstandard fabulous.
It is amazing, but it makes me uncomfortable. Okay, but it is amazing.
Wow.
So it
She's-
just
you're
does.
gonna get-
It just, I know, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. I don't like talking
About
it
how
up,
amazing you guys are.
but it is amazing. Okay,
I
so,
didn't say the program was, I said our videos were.
but they're us, and I just, here, read it.
Get
I did the
outta
first
here.
one, you do the second one.
And now we have our special announcement. We have a free puppy biting workshop on Wednesday, April 3rd at 1 p.m. Pacific time. You can register the link in our bio.
So we won't be here, guys. We will not be here. So you need to go to our bio right now and click on the link so you can see us on Zoom, right? It's a Zoom. It's a Zoom. Next week. All right. See you.
There is a replay if they can't make it, but they have to be registered.
There is a replay if you guys can't make it, but you have to be registered to
Registered.
get the replay.
I know, I can never make anything live. Like, the replay is right to your email. Perfect. All right, guys. We'll see you next week at our workshop. Bye.